ladies, happy Wednesday. I am Jen Lormond, exercise physiologist, mom of 3 and co-owner of Tighten Your Tinkler.
I'm Christina Walsh, mom of 2, physical therapist and co-owner of Tighten Your Tinkler. We are so excited to be raising some awareness and giving some awesome empowering education about these issues that we see women come into us all the time after they've been to their OB and asked about the issues that they're having and been either told, you don't have a problem, or what do you expect, you just had a baby. And it's not because the doctors don't want to help, it's because that's not where their training is. They got mom and baby safely through pregnancy and childbirth, but women are trusting them to have knowledge in areas they actually don't. And we're trying to fill that gap for you starting today.
So the very first thing that we are addressing in this series is your pubic symphysis, which is a fancy word for the spot where your pelvis comes together. It's the joint at the front of the pelvis that separates during childbirth. And many times during that healing process, it can miss the mark and
Trying to come back together.
A lot of discomfort.
So today, we're gonna teach you how to check your own, tell you where to go to get it fixed if it's out, and what definitely not to do until you have got that fixed, and what you can do.
Yeah, and stick around to the end because we're gonna give you a solution, a quick fix in the interim to be able to feel better.
Awesome.
So Christina is gonna kind of walk you through the self-check. So you don't need a mirror for this. You just need to be able to tune into your body and what you're feeling.
So first, just find your hip bones, like where you put your hands on your hips. And there's 2 ways to find this. You can find your hips and kind of slide forward and down to the hard spot right in the front of your pelvis. Yeah. That is your pubic joint. That's where we're gonna be working today. Another way
would be to put your fingers right on the labia. Those are the lips of the vagina. Okay, so you're gonna put it there, 2 fingers above, and press right above that spot right there.
It's hard and firm. It's the bone underneath. That is your pubic joint or your pubic symphysis. You're going to press across, back and forth, across that joint and across those bones. And what's it gonna feel like, Jen, if it's out?
Yeah, so I have dealt with this off and on with my prolapse, and it feels different depending on what my symptoms are. Those symptoms, if you are feeling discomfort here, it might be tightness at the front of the hip, it might be like tightness in one side of your groin, but what it'll feel like a bruise if there's a lot of tension on here. As you begin to press and move away, you might be like, oh yeah, it kind of just feels like a little bruise or something. That just means you have a lot of tension on the joint. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's out, but it does mean that you need some decompression to alleviate the tension that's being placed there. That could be caused by an over-tight pelvic floor, or just again missing the mark a little bit as you were coming back into heal.
Absolutely. And I know, how does it feel if it's definitely out?
If it's definitely out, when I touch there, I sometimes feel a little zing. I feel like some little nerve pain, like a zing, almost pudendal pain,
like a
into
sharper
the vagina.
Discomfort, would
yes,
you say?
Yes, a little bit sharper discomfort, and it will be significantly more tender on one side of that joint than the other. So you check yourself, oh my goodness, this is me, what do I do about it? Chris, where do they go?
So, I can address this issue in my manual practice, but my skill set is very unique, and so it's the place we refer for this is a Webster certified chiropractor. Those chiropractors have special training to know how to adjust this joint, not in an aggressive pop crack way. Don't get freaked out that someone's gonna crack your pelvis in the front. That is not what happens. They know how to adjust this joint in a gentle way, which is how it needs to be adjusted. So a Webster certified chiropractor will work. And if there's any of you ladies out there who've had this issue and had it fixed somewhere else by a different practitioner, please share that.
Drop that below.
Not only we would like to know, but all the other women watching this would really like to know where else they can go in case they don't have access to a Webster certified chiropractor.
So what do you do and don't do if you've identified that your pubic symphysis is out of alignment? We're going to start with what not to do, which is what you might feel called to do, is stretching the front of the hip or any one-sided pulling.
Or
Christina's
the groin.
gonna,
because the discomfort from this comes up in the front of the hip and the groin, the instinct is to try to stretch there. But what that's going to do is only further pull and cause even maybe potentially further dislocation or dislocating forces at that joint. So you're going to feel like you want to stretch all this, but it's important not to do something like this. And it doesn't take much imagination after you just pressed and checked right there to realize how much asymmetrical stress and pull happens at that joint doing this nice, lovely hip flexor stretch.
And it may feel good while you're doing it, but we can promise you that all it's going to do is further pull you out of alignment. The other one that women tend to want to do is this one here. And that, you can imagine, like, you've got that groin tightness, so you're just trying to get in there and stretch it. But man, can that puppy do a number on you? Get any of that.
If you suspect after that self-assessment that you are dealing with a dislocated or out of place pubic symphysis or pubic joint, please don't do those groin and hip opening stretches until you've had that addressed and fixed. And in the meantime, what can you do to get some relief? Please hop over to our website and grab the freebie at the top. It's the 90-90 decompression is what we call it. It's a quick, easy position you can get in with no special equipment, no tennis shoes required. We've had a girl describe it as lazy yoga. And it's a way to get yourself some relief through that pelvis and hip and low back region now and within 5 minutes.
It's really using gravity and your diaphragm to help decompress that. Now that's a quick fix to alleviate symptoms, but please understand that to get to the root issue there, you will need to see a practitioner to get you back into alignment. And then if you don't want to keep coming out of alignment, then you should join our signature program, because that is exactly what we address, is getting those up and in muscles on board to stop all of those alignment issues.
It stops becoming your recurrent friend at that point when you strengthen all those deep support muscles in a coordinated, subconscious and working together fashion for all the up and in muscles. So please pop us your questions below. This is such a common thing that we see, that when our ladies get to us, no one has checked them for this. And we're the first ones to tell them that this is an issue and help solve this problem for them. So we want to help you too, and please let us know what questions you might have or what else we could help guide you with.
Feel free to private message us or drop your scenario below, because if you have a question, others definitely have the same question, and we can all learn from each other. We're looking forward to keeping this series going. Next week we're talking about something even more, a little jaw-dropping than what we've discussed today. So until next week, guys, see ya.